When the name Can Yaman is mentioned, the image that usually comes to mind is of a heartthrob actor who has conquered international screens, a man admired for his charisma, talent, and larger-than-life presence. But behind the glittering surface of fame lies a web of personal relationships, family ties, and lingering emotions from a past romance that refuses to fade away. And this time, the spotlight did not fall on Can himself, but on his mother, who shocked everyone with a message so powerful that it has stirred debates across Turkey, Italy, and beyond. It all began when whispers spread about El Turco, the ambitious project that was supposed to cement Can Yaman's status as an international superstar. The series had already been surrounded by rumors of production delays, creative clashes, and uncertainty about its future. Fans worried whether this project, so highly anticipated, was in danger of collapsing under the pressure. But then, the crisis took a more personal turn. It wasn't about contracts or scripts anymore. It was about the emotional storm surrounding Can, and a message from his own mother that no one expected. For years, Can Yaman's relationship with Demet Özdemir has fascinated millions. Their on-screen chemistry in Erkenci Kuş was electric, sparking rumors of a romance that many fans still believe was real. Even after they parted ways, the connection between them never truly disappeared from the public's imagination. Every time Can posted a cryptic caption, every time Demet appeared in a new interview, the fans dissected their words, convinced there was still unfinished business between them. But now, in the middle of the El Turco crisis, Can's mother reportedly broke her silence. Sources close to the Yaman family revealed that she had sent a message directly addressing Demet Özdemir. Some claimed it was a heartfelt appeal, others insisted it carried an undertone of frustration, even warning. Whatever the truth, the news spread like wildfire. Can's mother had spoken, and her words could change everything. Fans immediately began speculating about the meaning behind the message. Was it an olive branch, suggesting reconciliation? Was it a plea for Demet to understand the struggles Can was facing? Or was it a subtle warning, asking her to stay away during a time of crisis? The ambiguity only fueled the fire. Social media platforms exploded with hashtags like #CrisisMessage and #CanYamanDemetDrama, and within hours, the story dominated entertainment headlines across multiple countries. The weight of a mother's words cannot be underestimated, especially in a culture where family ties are deeply respected. For Can Yaman's mother to intervene, publicly or privately, meant that the situation had escalated beyond control. And for Demet Özdemir, who has tried to navigate her own career and personal life with grace, the sudden spotlight must have felt overwhelming. For the fans, however, it was the drama of the century, the kind of moment that reminded everyone that behind the cameras, behind the carefully curated social media posts, these stars are living a life full of real emotions, conflicts, and heartbreak. The impact of Can Yaman's mother's message grew even stronger once details started to leak from insiders. Though no official statement was released, those close to the situation claimed that her words were clear, sharp, and impossible to ignore. Some described the message as protective, a mother's instinct kicking in to shield her son during one of the most turbulent times of his career. Others suggested that it hinted at unresolved issues from the past, a lingering connection between Can and Demet that continued to cast a shadow over their present lives. In the entertainment world, family members rarely step into the spotlight unless the situation becomes critical. That's why this intervention was so shocking. It was as if Can's mother herself was acknowledging what fans had suspected all along, that Demet still played a role in her son's emotional universe. Whether that role was positive or negative remained unclear, but one thing was certain: the boundaries between past love and present crisis had blurred in the most dramatic way possible. The timing couldn't have been more intense. El Turco, Can's high-profile project, had already been rumored to be facing obstacles. Some reports claimed disagreements between the creative team, others suggested financial setbacks. Amid this uncertainty, fans noticed that Can seemed more withdrawn on social media. His once frequent, playful posts had turned into cryptic messages, leaving fans wondering about his state of mind. And then came his mother's words, a message that seemed to expose not just Can's professional struggles, but his personal vulnerability. What exactly did the message say? That's the question on everyone's lips. Some insiders whispered that it was a plea for peace, asking Demet not to add fuel to the fire during such a delicate period. Others claimed it was more emotional, expressing regret that things between Demet and Can had ended the way they did, and hinting that his mother still saw Demet as an important figure in her son's life. A third theory suggested something far bolder, that the message was a subtle confrontation, accusing Demet of stirring unnecessary attention at a time when Can needed focus and stability. The lack of clarity only intensified the drama. Every fan base interpreted the story differently. Supporters of Can insisted his mother was simply trying to protect him, while supporters of Demet argued that dragging her name into the El Turco crisis was unfair. Meanwhile, gossip outlets jumped on the story, publishing dramatic headlines like "A Mother's Warning" and "The Message That Could End It All." In Italy, where Can has an enormous fan following, the press went wild with speculation. Tabloid magazines described the story as a war of emotions and suggested that this was proof Can's past with Demet had never been fully resolved. Turkish outlets, on the other hand, highlighted the cultural weight of a mother stepping in, painting the situation as a sign of deep crisis within the Yaman family. Regardless of interpretation, one fact was undeniable: this wasn't just about a TV series anymore. This was about love, loyalty, heartbreak, and the lengths to which a mother would go to protect her son's heart. The ripple effects of the message were enormous. Within days, fans flooded social media with emotional reactions. Some begged Can and Demet to find peace and move on, while others openly hoped this was a sign of reconciliation. Twitter threads analyzing every word of the alleged message went viral, with thousands of comments debating what it truly meant. On TikTok, dramatic edits showed Can and Demet's most romantic scenes from Erkenci Kus paired with captions like, "The love story that refuses to die." Behind the glamour, however, the truth seemed far heavier. Sources close to the Yaman family revealed that Can had been under immense pressure. El Turco was supposed to be his big international breakthrough, and the delays had taken a toll not just on his career but on his emotional well-being. He reportedly confided to friends that he felt trapped between expectations and reality, and the last thing he needed was renewed speculation about his past relationship. This is where his mother's role became crucial. Her message, whether meant as a plea or a warning, was seen as an attempt to create boundaries that the press and fans refused to respect. Demet, on the other hand, had been focusing on her own projects. She had spoken in past interviews about the challenges of being constantly linked to Can, emphasizing that she wanted to be recognized for her talent and hard work rather than her private life. For her, being pulled back into the storm must have felt exhausting. And yet, the power of a mother's words made it impossible for her to remain invisible in the narrative. The media frenzy only escalated when old photos of Can and Demet resurfaced online. Magazines republished images from their Erkenci Kus days, fueling nostalgia among fans and adding a romantic spin to the story. Was Can's mother hinting at unfinished love? Or was she trying to close the chapter once and for all? Nobody knew for sure, but the ambiguity kept the story alive. Interestingly, cultural commentators pointed out that the situation revealed the blurred lines between celebrity and family. In Turkey, where family approval carries enormous weight, Can's mother stepping into the drama signaled that the issue was no longer just personal, it was familial. In Italy, however, the narrative was framed more romantically, with the press portraying Can as a tragic hero torn between his career and a love he couldn't fully escape. The drama became so intense that even those who usually avoided gossip found themselves invested. Entertainment talk shows dissected the event in prime time, while fans across multiple countries organized online polls asking, should Can and Demet reunite? The results, unsurprisingly, were split right down the middle. As the storm raged on, one thing became clear: this was more than a fleeting headline. It was a saga that combined the struggles of fame, the weight of family, and the enduring power of love lost. Can Yaman's mother, in breaking her silence, had reignited a fire that many thought had long been extinguished. Her message, whatever its true content, wasn't just words. It was a reflection of the deep emotional ties that still lingered around Can and Demet. Whether she meant to protect her son, confront his past, or extend an olive branch, the effect was undeniable. She had turned a private matter into a public spectacle that no one could ignore. For Can, the situation highlighted the impossible balance he has to maintain. On one side, his career demands strength, focus, and resilience in the face of setbacks like the El Turco crisis. On the other, his personal life continues to be haunted by a love story that refuses to fade, no matter how much time passes. For Demet, it was a reminder that her name remains tied to Can's in ways she cannot control. Even when she tries to move forward, the past pulls her back into the spotlight. As the world watches, the questions remain: will Can and Demet ever truly close this chapter? Or is destiny keeping them bound together through whispers, scandals, and even family interventions? Fans hold their breath, waiting for the next clue, the next statement, the next photo that might reveal the truth. In the end, the real shock was not just the message itself but the emotions it revealed. It showed that beneath the fame, beneath the international success, Can Yaman is still a man caught between love, family, and career. And it proved that sometimes, the most powerful words come not from the stars themselves, but from the mothers who love them. For now, the saga of Can, Demet, and the message continues. And as long as fans believe in the power of their story, every silence, every glance, and every word will be magnified into something larger than life.